Hi guys, my name is Alyssa and welcome back to my channel. Today is my birthday and so I am answering your questions like I do every year on this channel for my birthday. So if you don't care to know anything about me, that's cool, yo. This isn't for you. I asked you on Facebook and Twitter like what you wanted to know, and so I'm going to answer some of them, and hopefully this isn't like a 500 million minute movie. I'm not going to answer all the questions, but I'm going to go down and answer as many as I can. Are you planning on having another baby? Yes. What are your best and worst placements in your natal chart, and how do you utilize the positive aspects and downplay or make peace with the less positive? All right, I think my best placement is my Jupiter in Aquarius in the 11th house. This is like a really good placement for anybody who wants to like be on the internet, who wants to like have their videos shared, who wants people to like them and notice them. So it's really good for me for doing what I'm doing. Now it's retrograde, so that sucks, but at the same time, it kind of makes me more intuitive. And I'd say a bad placement is like, I don't know, my sun in Libra in the 7th house. Oh, this is my worst placement. I don't know why I can't even remember. So stupid. It's my Saturn opposite moon. And the Saturn's in the 8th house and my moon's in the 2nd house. And it really blows because Saturn in the 8th house, I come off as such a bitch, and sometimes I just say like the bitchiest things in the most serious tone, and I don't even mean to. Like I just am trying to get a point across, and then everyone thinks I'm a bitch, and I'm like, oh shit. And having a Pisces ascendant, like, it really sucks. I've definitely, with my Saturn return going on, have had to learn how to balance it out, and that's been a really big thing for me. And I'm actually pretty excited that I've kind of been mastering it. You know, mix my emotions in with my nature that feels like you just got to get shit done. You know, sometimes you don't have to cut off your emotions for that. I work through the bad placements. I don't accept them. That's just kind of me. I don't think that it's good to rationalize your bad placements because they're bad for a reason, because you have to be better. We all have to be better. If you're not growing, you're a moron and you're complacent and you're just going to live like you're, 10 years old, and good for you if that's what you want to do, but everybody else hates you. I would like to know if you know anything about past lives. Don't laugh, lol. I'm serious. Well, I'm just kidding. I love past lives. I'm actually writing a novel that's going to take me 10 years about past lives because I am so interested in it. Do I know anything about it? Probably, but not enough to articulate into a sentence. And so maybe one day I'll talk to you about it. Name 5 people, famous or non-famous, that have influenced you the most in your life. Also name their sign or any relevant placements that you're responsible for their influence. I'm going to say non-parental or family units because I think my family has influenced me the most. But friendship and fame-wise, my friend JC. She's a Taurus with a Virgo ascendant and a Capricorn moon. She's always just been very supportive and always really believed in me no matter what. Even when I pissed her off, she's always been like, Alyssa, like, and she'll sit and she'll talk to me and work it out with me, like why I pissed her off, and then we work through it. She's always wanted me to be better. And Jenna marbles, because I watched this video on her one time where she was talking and they're interviewed or something, and they're like, what would you tell people who want to have YouTube videos? She's like, you just have to have no fear. And for some reason, all of a sudden, I was like, I love Jenna Marbles. Like, I don't know how long, I think it was like 3 years ago. And I just kept thinking that in my head. I really think I could do well on YouTube. Like, I think that's a good outlet for me because I'm bored. And I just need to have no fear. I didn't mean to imitate her. I really related to her. I really felt like she was a lot like me, that I was a lot like her. I felt like we were very similar, even though she's a Virgo. And I think that's why I was like, if you can do it, I can do it. I always said Drew Barrymore. Like, growing up, it was always like, who's so influential in your life? And I was like, Drew Barrymore. But I don't know why. I think it's just because when I was a kid, people told me I looked like her in E.T. So when I was a kid, I knew that she was going through a bad time and my parents didn't like her. And then all of a sudden she was just so sweet and good and like the flower child. And I remember being in junior high and being like, wow, you can just turn your life around anytime. She helped me through junior high and high school. Just her presence. I know she's a Pisces. And I have a Pisces rising, so maybe that's it. Mary Jo, I made a video with her because she's the one who taught me astrology. Like, I wouldn't be here doing this without Mary Jo. And she's a Taurus too. The 5th one, I have these friends, and I think I'm going to lump them all together then. Dana, JC, Amanda, Rosie, Lindsay, and Amy. and Mary Jo. And most of them were Tauruses. And a Pisces and a Leo. I know you're all starry-eyed over Leos. Have you ever dated one? I never dated a Leo. And that was when I knew I was going to marry my husband, who's a Scorpio. I thought in my head, and I told my friends, I was like, you know what sucks about knowing that I'm in love and I'm going to marry this man and spend the rest of my life with him? I never got to date a Leo. How depressing is that, you know? Like, seriously. What have your experiences with life path 3s been like? I like this question because when I moved to Austin, I was into astrology. And so everyone was like, oh, you're into astrology. This other girl, Allie, is into numerology. You should talk to her. You guys are weird. You guys could have weird conversations about weird stuff and not talk to us about it. I pretty much found out that most people there were like, life path. Ugh, I cannot talk. They were 3s. And so was Allie, the one who was into it. And I was sure that when she explained to me what the 3 was before she told me that I was an 8, that I was a 3. I just had to believe that. I felt like I want to be a 3. Look at these 3s. They're just here. They're working in restaurants because they're doing creative shit. And I am working in a restaurant because I have no other skills. All these 3s inspired me to get up off my ass and do something. How has astrology changed or affected your life? Learning astrology for me, besides all of this wonderful stuff that has happened, like my channel, new friendships, things like that, it gave me an ability to see that I wasn't a moron. Because I have a natural ability to dumb things down for people, people always treat me like I'm stupid. In reality, I just take things that are complicated and I make them easier. It's always been something that I've been good at, but I've never felt like that was a gift. It seemed like a curse because of how many people who are really smart talk with really big words. And I'd always just look at them and be like, why do you talk like that? And then I refuse to talk back to them like that, because when something comes in here, it comes out my mouth in such an easier way to understand. And people who are in love with their own bullshit intelligence look down on you for talking like a normal fucking human being. For a long time, I just felt stupid. When I found astrology and realized that I could take these really complex ideas and I could streamline them and make you understand, make my friends understand, I realized that it was a gift. That was something that was really cool about me. I had no idea. It gave me confidence. What are you most looking for in the next few years? My child growing up, my husband and I relationship, being able to do more things because we're not going to be broke one day in our lives. That'll be nice, not being broke. Just the idea that a career is started from my YouTube channel, that I can make it bigger and I can actually have something and I can build something. What's a typical trait of my sign that really just isn't me? I'm pretty much a fucking total Libra. I think that's kind of why it made it easier for me to believe astrology, because the fact that the sun sign fit me so well. I know some people have a really hard time because their sun sign doesn't fit them, so when someone starts bringing up astrology, they're like, yada, 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 I'm supposed to be this, so is everybody. But I'm just a lot like a Libra. I'm not an extrovert. Why are you and Penny Astrology not working together anymore? Sometimes you just realize that you're not a good fit. There were things that she wanted to do on her own, and there are things I needed to do. And I was standing in her way, and I think she realizes she doesn't need me, and I think that's great. So it's kind of what I wanted for her in the first place. Since Chris works with food, what's one of the tasty things he makes at home? My husband doesn't cook. He works with food, so he doesn't have to work with food when he gets home. Yep. Always the idea of perfect happiness. Sitting on the couch with my husband, drinking coffee, and watching a Marvel movie. I'm not even fucking lying. What's my greatest fear? Being alone, but dying alone, with nobody there. Just empty inside, I guess empty alone. What talent would you most like to have? I would love to be a singer and dancer. I would like both. Can I do both? Because I gotta do that. Both of it. Has married life turned out to be what I expected? Better, worse? How do you make it work and not lose the romantic spark, or is it gone? I love being married. I have my son in the 7th house. It's feels like what I was made to do. I was made to be a wife. Now that can be kind of weird to people who were not, and I get that. I just feel very comfortable in a relationship. I'm a Libra, my son in the 7th house. My husband's sun falls in my 7th house. Everything about being married suits who I am, gives me stability, makes me happy, gives me passion and joy and excitement, and even allows me to be lazy and gives me a sort of purpose. I am a better person now that I'm married. The right relationship allows you to just be you when your sun's in the 7th house. And yeah, my husband's not romantic. He never was. I did not marry him for romance. I'm a closet romantic, but it's not something that I needed, you know? I think when you are picking out a suitable husband or wife, you kind of have to think about what you can do without, because there's no such thing as perfection. Everything that my husband has is amazing. He's not romantic. Sometimes he is, though. Sometimes he's totally romantic just for me, and that actually feels even better. Or the other day, he gave me a hug and he told me he liked my neck. Wow, I feel like my neck, that's like totally risque. Sorry about that. It's TMI. But it was really romantic. One of the most defining moments of my childhood, and as an adult, can you see it reflected in your birth chart? In my childhood, I was so quiet and I just didn't talk, and I was so fucking shy. But I observed a lot. And I know this doesn't really answer your question, but I can't really think of a moment right now. I do know that I have a Pisces ascendant in the 26th degree. It's a pretty late degree. And I like to think that it's such a late degree because as a kid, I watched people be, and I decided that when I finally was going to be, that I would be like them, like the people that I liked. I'd pick all the good traits of people and, get rid of all the bad traits that I didn't like, and I would be that person. And I think that's kind of what defined my Pisces ascendant. Just kind of somebody who could be whatever she wanted to be whenever she wanted to be it, but it would be the best version of that. And it took me a while to actually really figure out who I was after that, but I think it's kind of a skill I have. It throws people off when they do get to know me because I am always different than what they expect. If there are 12 people lined up in a row and each perfectly represented each sign of the zodiac, which one would you A, lick on the face? Gemini, because a Gemini would laugh. Maybe. B, make a tuna fish sandwich with blindfolded. Scorpio, because I think I could do that with my husband, because he would be funny about it. Ride into battle. Leo. Leo would be right by my side. And D, play an entire game of Monopoly without any breaks. Another Libra, because we would have a fucking awesome time. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.